if men are this way, it's partially because you rewarded them for being that way.
Yeah, that's a good point. Who you give attention to hits home.
Like men who try and shame women for going on OnlyFans. It's like, bro, you're the one who's paying for it.
Yeah. What's wrong with OnlyFans? What's wrong with it? It's disgusting.
In my relationship, I have autonomy. Like Wayne can express, I don't think you should do this, or I don't think you should do that, or maybe that's, but if I still decide to do it, he can't actually stop me from doing anything.
This poor guy. I mean, these guys are this big. They're like,
even death will not stop men from using our bodies against our will.
First of all, honey, if guys wanted to do these horrible things to you that you're describing, it would be happening already. This is the last one, but this is a great one. Ooh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Jedediah Bila Show. I'm so glad you're back. I'm feeling good. I have some incredible clips for you today, if I do say so myself. It's really going to float your boat. You know, my grandma used to say that. It's going to float your boat. Uh-oh. Dirty stuff. All right. So I have a clip from Mike Sartain that is on the money. Very important. He talks about it from the male perspective. I think we should do it from the male and female perspective. It's going to be good. We got girls talking about why they don't get approached. They get it wrong. They contradict themselves. We're going to point out why. I have some corporate boss babes having an exchange you're not going to believe. These are like the worst types, right? The career-driven corporate boss babe. We're going to break it down. We're going to go toe-to-toe with them. And we have a feminist talking about life in the apocalypse. And she's actually saying the I don't need a man stuff in the apocalypse. So we're going to go all in on that. So first I want to talk to you about something, though, and this is something really important. Do you guys have passwords that you use a lot that you put, you know, for your bank account, for your YouTube, for everything? You know, you have those passwords that you like, that you use. I have them too. Do you have any idea if any of those passwords have been compromised? Do you have any idea if you went on the dark web, if those passwords were in the wrong hands? My guess is that you don't, because I didn't know either. Listen, I have a very special offer for you today, and I'm going to get back to Aura and what it does. But listen, this is very important, and it's free. This is a 2-week free trial for you to find out how many times, if any, your passwords that you put in your most precious places are on the dark web. So in the description, I want you to go. It says aura.com/Jedediah. Aura.com/Jedediah. Again, linked below. And it's free. It's free. Don't you want to know if your bank account password is compromised? Someone did this the other day for me and came back and in the comments wrote on one of the videos that it was 40 times. Don't you want to know that so you can change that password? This is really important. And it's free. You cannot lose. Aura.com/Jedediah. 2-week free trial. It's going to tell you how many times your passwords show up on the dark web. You're going to know what you need to change. Now, what is Aura? Aura is identity theft protection. You know, identity theft is something that's happening every 14 seconds in America. How scary is that? You know, identity theft wrecks your whole life. You don't want that happening to you. I certainly don't want it happen to me. It's fraud monitoring. It's password management. It's antivirus software. It's all in one. If you decide you want to sign up after that 2-week free trial, if you decide this is what it does, it's going to monitor the dark web for your emails, your passwords, social security numbers, and it's going to send alerts directly to your phone to let you know, hey, something's going on. So before it turns into a nightmare and all your finances are destroyed, we're going to get to the bottom of it for you. It's going to send you a real-time alert. And the VPN also lets you stay anonymous online. If you don't want people to know what you're doing, which you might not, by keeping your browsing history and personal info safe and encrypted. We all talk about the death of privacy. Well, this is a way to protect that privacy. Aura found my passwords. I can't tell. It was wild. I think my dad's passwords were on there like 30 times. He went in, he changed them. He's had no issue since. Believe me, if something happens, you're going to want Aura sending those real-time alerts to your phone. So right now, I want you to go to that link, please. It's a free trial. Just find out, are your passwords compromised? Aura.com/Jedediah, linked below in the description. 2-week free trial. You can test it out. You can see if you like it, and you can find out, do you need to change those passwords? Don't be silly. Don't let this stuff get ahead of you before it's too late. Aura. Awesome partner. So happy that they're sponsoring the show. Okay. And I use them religiously. All right. Let's get started. Mike Sartain has got something to say. Uh-oh. Spicy Mike, we call him. Spicy Mike. You know Spicy Mike.
I don't think ladies understand. When you say these things and then you give evidence that you had sexual intercourse with guys who aren't those things, you don't understand what you're doing to steer men in that direction. When you go on a date with a guy who's a perfect gentleman and make him wait and then get home and go your toxic ex, you are making the world 1% worse. Now, it's not your responsibility. Do what you want. I'm not telling you not to do it. But please understand, if men are this way, it's partially because you rewarded them for being that way.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Now, guys, you're listening. Ladies, listen too. If you say as a woman, I really want a gentleman, and we see videos over and over again, right? Woman was saying the other day, oh, I want to be yearned for. I want to be chased. You know, I want to live in the 90s rom-com. I want the box outside my window. I want it all, right? I want the flowers. I want the guy to pay. I want all of these things. I want a perfect gentleman who's going to love and respect me, right? You say those things, but then you kind of treat that guy like garbage, right? Nice guy finished last. You know that saying. It exists for a reason. If you treat that guy like garbage and then you go and give time to the guy who's treating you like dirt, the player, the guy who's clearly only interested for one reason, for one night, let's say it out like it is, then you are sending a message to that gentleman, to that good guy. Don't be a gentleman. Don't treat me well. You are telling him, hey, if you treat me well, I'm going to just discard you and I'm going to trash you for this guy over here who's not treating me well. So what is the message? The message becomes, don't treat her well. Is that, ladies, the message that you want out there? Well, then you need to be paying attention to how you're behaving. You need to be paying attention to who you're rewarding and who you're not rewarding. Because what you're doing is providing a lot of mixed messages to guys. And then you got guys that are saying, well, wait a minute. I treated her like gold and she treated me like garbage in return. And this guy over here treated her like garbage and she's treating him like gold. What's his takeaway? Really think about it from his perspective. That's a good point. Now, guys, let me talk to you for a second. It's the same for you. Okay, Mike's making a good point about the ladies and owning some responsibility here for the decisions you make and who you treat how. Well, guys, listen, I'm going to tell you this because I get emails from good girls all the time. If you go out to the bar and you see that shiny girl who's clearly, you know, looking for a one-night stand, looking for something nasty, all half naked, drunk, did God knows, you know, maybe she's really hot. But she's a hot mess too, and you know it, and you give her time. And there's a girl in that bar who's a good girl who's not half naked. Maybe she's, you know, wearing a shirt with a collar up to here. You know, she's not flashing the you know what in your face. She's not doing any of that. She's a pretty girl, but she's clearly not down to play that night for one night. And you give the bad girl time. That good girl also gets a message and says, oh, if I want to get attention from a guy, do I have to do that? Am I going to be passed up because I'm not flashing it? The bad girls get attention. Noted. And then all of a sudden they start, you know, flashing and you know, it's all sexy. And maybe in the moment you like that, right? You're like, oh, there's more sexy girls at the club. Yeah. Well, guess what? There's less and less girls then that you get to take home to mom because all those girls got the message that you're only giving attention to the bad girls. So now they're trying like hell to become one. So just know, men, women, who you give attention to hits home. Who doesn't get the attention receives that message. So just take some responsibility for where you're putting your attention.
Men fear. This generation, they fear. Men are fucking.
Yeah.
That's why older guys will approach.
Yeah.
Guys our age don't approach because they think what? We're like in a Venus flytrap. Like that's what they think we have in our pants.
We get approached more by like gay men than straight men. And honestly, I'd like to keep it that way.
I would like to keep it that way too.
I would like to keep it that way.
I love my gays.
Come to the front.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Seriously.
And like, you know how girls, basic girls, have the same uniform kind of? Like,
Yeah.
and like they troll like for the leather jacket or like the,
Yeah.
you know, the denim and the white tank. And like,
Yeah.
you know, like you see like the same thing when you go out.
Yeah.
Men have the same exact outfit.
And it's a vest.
They have a uniform too.
And
they were shitting on us.
It's a vest.
No, it's like the fucking stupid hat with like the Henley and like I'm like, oh,
my
babe,
God.
you're
I
not
look
doing
at Holly
anything you're
last
doing.
night. I go look at the table to the right of us. There were 7 men wearing the same exact hat.
I thought like you would have thought it was
your
fucking
hat.
Halloween.
Take off your hat because guess what? I want to see your hairline.
All right. So do these girls seem appealing to you? If I were a guy, I would take a hard pass. Hard pass. I'm not talking about the visual either. I'm talking about attitude. Nasty, just unappealing, disrespectful, petty, childish attitude. Bye. See you later. So let me tell you, honey, guys aren't afraid of you. They just don't like your energy. They're not coming up to you because they don't like it. They can tell from second one that you reek of this like inflated ego and can't be bothered and like, pay me attention, but I don't really give a crap about you. And I'm telling you because you reek of it to me and I'm not even male. Okay. So they're not afraid of you. That this whole men are afraid. No, they just look at you and they're like, why would I go up to a girl who clearly isn't interested in giving me the time of day, just wants some attention and is going to make a big old game about this. I'm just going to pay. Okay, never mind. Next. That's what's happening. She also says they spend the first part of the video complaining that guys don't approach them, right? Oh, they don't approach. They're so afraid. And then they say, well, I don't really want you to approach me anyway. Gay men come to the front. Gay men come to the front. So you just exposed yourself as playing a game, right? In one breath, you're saying, I really, you guys, you need to come up and approach me and have some, gonads. And in the next breath, you're saying, well, I don't want you anyway. Gay men to the front. Well, why gay men to the front? Gay men aren't interested in you because it's all a game. You just want attention. You want attention from gay, straight, cats, dogs. Doesn't matter where it comes from. You just want to feel like, I'm so hot. And you don't give a lick about any of these guys. So just own it. And that's why they're not coming up to you, honey, because you reek of it. Ooh, I could smell it from here behind the cam. Then they go on to complain about the guys' outfits. And oh my God, I was at a place the other day and it all looked like they were wearing the same outfit. Who cares? Who cares? I mean, this petty bull, you don't like his hat? Oh my God, all the 7 guys look like they had the same hat on. Who cares? Yeah, and you know what? You can go to the club and you can see whatever trend is in. When you go to a club, you see every girl in the club is like doing that thing, right? They all got that skirt. They all got that outfit going on. Yeah. Oh, not me, she'd say. Really? Because like that grunge bummy thing you got going on, that is the trend right now, love. And you're sporting it. So this picky complaint. Women, own your energy, right? Own your energy. Is this pleasant? Is this inviting? No, it's gross. Why would any guy want to sign up for that? So, and in 5 years, they'll be complaining, well, I don't know, guys just are too intimidated by me. No, they're not. Stop using that as an excuse. The excuse is always guys are intimidated. And the reality oftentimes is no, guys just don't like what you reek of, which is bad energy. Own your energy. Own it. Now, number 3, we're going to break down. This is really too much. Oof. So I found this. It's a podcast with 2 corporate boss babes. And you'll see what they look like. They fit let's just say they fit the mold in its entirety. Okay, let's just leave it at that. They're completely clueless about virtually everything and kind of disgusting in some of what they say. We're going to stop and go through this because it's really important that you hear what they say. And then, of course, I'm going to annihilate it as I do.
Like men who try and shame women for going on OnlyFans. It's like, bro, you're the one who's paying for it.
Yeah, who's paying for it?
You're
exactly.
just angry that now you have to pay for the nudes.
Yeah.
You're not just getting them for free.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
I don't think there's anything wrong. And I think that is actually an amazing example of the rise of the unapologetic woman.
Yeah.
Because I think whenever, and not to make this like about men, but I think whenever men feel like they're losing control over a woman,
yeah,
they try and hit back hard.
Yeah.
Because they don't like that. They want to have control.
They want to take you down a notch.
Yeah, they want to take you down a notch.
Or
and
inflict shame.
And they can't.
Yeah.
They can't anymore because we're seeing now when women didn't have their own freedom, they were marrying men in very high numbers. And now when we look at women have statistics show
yeah.
that's not happening anymore. So
yeah.
it makes you wonder.
Man alive. Okay. So first she's talking about OnlyFans. Okay. And she's like, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with OnlyFans? What's wrong with these girls charge it? What's wrong with it? It's disgusting. It's morally debased. It's rotting society. It's rotting these women. They're waking up one day and their whole life is destroyed because they've got all of this promiscuity and degrading and self-loathing and self-disrespecting stuff all over the internet. What's wrong with it? She's looking at it like it's a good opportunity for entrepreneurship, this boss babe. Imagine being a woman. Imagine. Now, I'll sit here and I'll say, you want to do OnlyFans? You're a grown adult. You can do whatever you want, but I'm also going to tell you you're wrecking your life. And this is just morally bankrupt stuff. And yes, guys, you shouldn't be paying for it because you pay for it, you're encouraging it. You pay for it and then you complain that you don't have a girl to take home to mom because the girls are doing it. Well, you're encouraging it. So yes, guys, it is on you as well. This woman talks about the rise of the unapologetic woman. What she means is the rise of the slutty woman. That's what she means. The woman who can behave badly, disgrace herself, disgrace her body, have no self-respect, embarrass her family, embarrass herself, create a bunch of damage in her body and in her heart by virtue of extreme promiscuity. She's talking about the rise of that woman, this corporate boss babe, as if it's a good thing. These women, ladies, do not have your back. They don't. They want to tell you this is empowering and it's going to wreck your life. So when they talk about the rise of this unapologetic woman, they're talking about the rise of the slutty woman and why it's to them a good thing. Okay? Stop listening. Stop listening to this crap. And they often talk about shame, like men are inflicting shame on these women. Do you know what's really happening? These women are full of shame themselves. When you're doing this stuff, you know, this OnlyFans, really nasty stuff, deeply promiscuous stuff, doing it now for money, right? Ooh, I mean, just so morally debased. You experience shame on the inside. You know what you're doing is not good. That's why you wind up with these girls that do these videos. And then they do who was that girl? Was it Lily Phillips that was doing the videos? And then she was crying hysterically because it's breaking these women. It's breaking them on the inside. That shame is being felt by them on the inside. They don't need a guy to shame them. They're experiencing that and all sorts of trauma that goes along with it. So how disgusting, by the way, to see two grown women. I'm talking to you because grown woman to grown woman, how disgusting for you to pretend that this OnlyFans stuff isn't ruining women and to instead encourage it under some veil of empowerment. You're a disgrace to society. Let's keep going. Let's go to B.
I think also when I think of the rise of the unapologetic women, I think of it in terms of a relationship too, because in my relationship, I have autonomy. Like Wayne can express, I don't think you should do this, or I don't think you should do that, or maybe but if I still decide to do it, he can't actually stop me from doing anything.
Totally.
And that's not how it is in all relationships.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that relationships and love should be about control in any capacity anyway.
No.
Love is freedom.
But I think some women don't have that freedom.
Yeah.
And I think that comes, I think unfortunately, in order to be like a strong, unapologetic woman, you also have to have something to stand on. Because if you can't be unapologetic and then be like, can I have money for groceries,
Please,
sir?
Oh, man. I can't. I mean, really. The ugly, and what's going on with that other woman? Listen, the plastic surgery, I'm not getting into it right now, but do you see what I see? It's always these women, too, that are talking about these things, autonomy and the boss babe, that it's just like the alien face comes into play. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. So she's talking about autonomy. And she even says that her husband, what a disgraced guy, by the way. This poor guy. I mean, he basically can't tell her oh, honey, I don't think you should go out on girls' night out. Dress like that. Well, thanks for expressing yourself. I allowed you to express yourself, but I'm going to do it anyway. I mean, that's what she's saying, right? He's allowed, even now she says, he can express himself. Oh, really, honey? Does he have your permission to express? Well, good. Oh, wow. Imagine, grown man living with somebody like this. But she says outright, he can't stop me from doing anything. I have autonomy. Okay, I'm interested, honey, love. Can you stop him from doing anything? I would love the answer to that. So if he says, you know what, I want to go out with my guys to the strip club. That's what I feel like doing tonight. I'm not saying this is good behavior. I don't condone this stuff. You know that. I'm not into the dark ways of the world. I'm just not. Let's say he says, I'm going to do that. You think she's not going to step up and be like, no, you're not. You're not doing that. That's disrespectful to me. And you know what she'll say? If you say, well, I thought he couldn't tell you what to do, but now you're telling him what to do, I guarantee you that the boss babe comes back, this one in particular, and says, well, it's different. This is disrespectful. This is different. This is like a form of cheating, going to a strip club. Oh, okay. So it's a form of cheating to go to the strip club, but it's not a form of cheating to get all, dressed half naked and go out on girls' night and get hit on by guys all night long. Says who? Who writes these rules? Well, I'll tell you who writes them. The women do, because they're running their houses. These guys are this big. They're like, shrunken. And this, that's what they look like in their own homes. Ridiculous. So, and they say love is freedom. Love is freedom. Love isn't about control. That one that chimes in on the right, the blonde, she's like, yeah, love is freedom. It's not about control. Really? Okay. That's not what you're saying. What you're saying is that love is freedom and not about control when it comes to controlling you, but you are allowed to control him. I will guarantee you that our foot is put down in that house when he's doing something you don't like. What if he decides suddenly that he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to have the job he has? He's going to basket weave on the side instead. He's developed a love of basket weaving, and he's just not going to make the money anymore and provide. You're going to just say, oh, love is freedom. Do whatever you want. What if he decides, when somebody goes to, break into the house, he goes and hides in the closet? He's not doing his duties as a man, is he? You're going to have something to say about it. But you're allowed to do whatever you want. Just listen. When women do this, it means you can't tell me what to do, but I can tell you what to do. That's the code language that's going on here.
One way that you're able to push an agenda that could maybe be seen as fascism or something that's just taking a regressive agenda and not a progressive agenda is by attacking the intelligentsia and attacking academics. And that's what we're seeing is happening. Because at the end of the day, I don't think there's a problem with education. And I'm sad to be living in a world now where it's almost like there's a country that's across the border from us where their education isn't important to them anymore.
So, okay, can I ask a question? Are we referring to how he's redoing like the school structure? Is that what we're referring to?
More how now the states are going to have control.
Control over
So for
it,
me,
okay.
that's scary.
Yeah.
Because now if you live in...
Because it's not in unison, it's not
no,
collective.
and if you live in like they're already rewriting history.
Yeah.
In some
Oh, they've done
states.
it so many
and
times
so I
over.
think if you're living in Arkansas versus if you're living in California, if Arkansas
different
as a
curriculums.
state
Yeah.
has control over their own education,
Right.
Okay, this is good on this one. We're good here. Man alive. Okay, the dumb her. I mean, some of these women, man, you got to really wonder. And they vote, right? These are the women that vote, and just it's so unbelievably stupid the way their minds work. Like, if this is what education, honey, listen. If you are the product of education, you are proving my point that it's a waste of time and it's counterproductive. These women are proving the opposite point. So they're talking about how fascism emerges when academics are suppressed. Listen, and she says there's no problem with education. There's no problem with education. Education is currently, by and large, with the exception of just a few schools here and there and handfuls of pockets here and there, and we're talking largely about college. She's talking about academia. That's college. It's indoctrination. And the reason that they like it is because you go to college and they spew the same stuff that these two women swallowed. They probably went and swallowed it all, right? Now they're just little programmed feminists, right? And they're out there parroting the talking points. And it makes them feel deeply threatened that someone would say, I'm not sending my kids to school to just become a parrot. I'm not going to spend $40,000+ a year and I don't even know how much it is right now, and do all that. For what? To get a program dummy that comes out and then votes like an idiot? No. The problem with education is that it's not educating people anymore, honey. And they're coming out sounding like you, right? You're programmed, right? And the other one's talking about, oh, the states are a problem. Right, because it's not collective. Right. You're right. You're right. When the states make decisions, it's not one giant broad brushstroke on everybody, right? So that at least the states have a chance to right some wrongs that happen at the federal level. These women are, I'm sorry, this is dumb as dirt. This is so dumb, but this is the collectivist mindset. This is the feminist. This is what comes out of academia. This dumb collectivist, everyone needs to be the same, happily indoctrinated bull. Just know what you're up against. Now she's going to talk about her husband. Oh, you got Wayne. Poor Wayne, poor bastard. All right, let's listen.
I remember once my Wayne was like, well, like a guy who like slept around is a stud. Well, women who sleep around are sluts. I was like, no. Like, it's got to go both ways. Like, how come a woman is a slut, but a man who sleeps around is a stud? Like, sir, you don't even know your body count. Like, like if a woman doesn't know her body count, that makes her a slut. So why would you be a stud? Because, like, you got to paint everyone with the same brush. Like,
100%.
Your gender does not make you better or different. I mean, it does make you different, but it does make you better.
Okay, and you notice her slip up there. Your gender does not make you better or different. Oh, I mean, it does make you different. Yeah, it does make you different, honey. And the other one is just, brain dead. Really, the blonde, brain dead. She's just like, I absolutely, like 100%. Like, what the hell are you even talking? Do you even know what you're saying? No. So yes, men and women are different, and it is different. It just is different body count when it comes to men and women, the same way it is different when we talk about physical strength between men and women, and it is different when we talk about, making money and being the man of a house. You're just different. Men and women are different. And the reason that body count is different, honey, I don't know how many times I have to explain it, maybe you need to watch the show, is because when you ask women, do you care about male body count? More often than not, within reason, right? We're not talking numbers over 100 and crazy. They say no. And sometimes they'll even say they don't care about that. When you ask men about female body count, the guys do care. Because again, what men and women care about are different. So if you want to assess your value when you're dating someone, you have to bring into play that what's valued by men and what's valued by women are different. So your value will be assessed based on which gender you're trying to attract, right? Oh, the brain dead man. And then she says also one thing important here also to note, she talks about like guys being a stud if they're able to sleep with like a lot of girls and girls just being a slut. One important side note here is that for the average guy, it is very hard to sleep with a lot of girls. Like I'm not talking about your 10 guy who's making a ton of money. Your average guy is going to have a really hard time sealing the deal with a lot of women. Your average girl is not going to have a hard time sealing it with a lot of guys, right? Take a 5 guy and watch how hard he's got to go and try to seal the deal with a bunch. It's not easy. That same 5 category girl could sleep with a zillion guys, right? So it's different in that capacity too, right? Just in terms of the ease with which these things are able to. I'm not saying that it's good to sleep around, right? I don't think it's good for men or women to sleep around. I think it's just it wrecks you in different ways, right? And we've talked about that. But this idea that men and women, see, she's saying they're not the same, but she's saying they should be treated the same. Makes no sense, right? And it would be fascinating. Oh, I wish one of them would come on here. They never would. But it would be like, they would probably rage quit in like 3 seconds.
But I think it's interesting that we live in a world where women are shamed and you have to learn how to dress modestly. But where's the course that teaches men to not gawk at women and treat them like sexual objects?
Okay, so Jesus never told women.
No, I can't. I just stop it there. I can't with the Jesus because they bring in Jesus selectively, right? Oh, Jesus did. Don't you love that? I love when women, oh, Jesus did it. Now Jesus, oh, but where was Jesus when you were telling all the women it was good to do OnlyFans in charge, honey? Right? He was on board with that. God. So she's talking about how, women who dress this way, get judged. Well, yes. And she's like, well, if you dress this way as a woman, why are they telling women not to dress this way and not telling men don't gawk? Listen, honey, if you walk down the street half naked with the stuff jiggling and the hiney out and all, it is unnatural for a guy to not look at you. It would be what he would have to lose all of his. It's just a natural thing that you look, right? And that's why you're doing it. You're not dressing provocatively out in public for no one to notice. Or you would dress provocatively in the comfort of your own living room. And then when you went out, you would put on a high-neck, high-collared shirt because you didn't want any attention. You're dressing for attention because you want attention. So if that guy doesn't look at you, you're going to consider it a bad day's work, right? You want him to gawk. And guys, this is what they want. They want to dress half naked and then you gawk. And then they say, why are you gawking at me? But they know you gawked, so they get that ego boost. It's all a game. It's like, I'm going to dress this way. He's going to gawk at me. And then I'm going to go, ew. She's telling you in her own words. Again, ladies, if you're only dressing this way for yourselves, do it at home. Do it at home. Not at the club, not at the restaurant, not where guys are going to notice you. You're full of crap. You, honey, are full of crap. Okay, this is the last one, but this is a great one. Ooh. Because I know y'all wonder, what happens in the apocalypse, right? Well, this girl has a very strong opinion about what happens in the apocalypse. So let's let honey here explain.
In case you forgot that men are awful, I posted a video about what the girlies are going to do if we ever hit an apocalyptic situation and life's never going back to normal. And there are currently almost 7,000 comments of women saying that they would themselves rather than deal with the men out in the world because they know that they would be abused, used, and discarded. Not to mention all the girlies in the comments saying that they would make sure their body was burned, disposed of, mangled beyond recognition, because even death will not stop men from using our bodies against our will.
This is how serious the brainwashing is. Do you hear what she's saying? First of all, honey, if guys wanted to do these horrible things to you that you're describing, it would be happening already. They are bigger and stronger and tougher than we are. And do you know why that doesn't happen in society? Do you know why? Oh, but Jed, there's crime and there's rape and there's... Yes, there are bad guys. But do you know why the bad guys get checked? Because of the good guys. That's why. Because of good guys who are trained to fight, who are intimidating as all hell, because they are at their front door in their houses, and the bad guys look and say, oh, I'm not messing with that guy, because they're fit, because they know how to carry, because they know how to shoot, because they are protecting their families, their neighborhoods. They are your police officers. They are your security guards. They are your men of the house. Those good guys are seeing to it that the bad guys don't run society, honey. And without those good guys, guess what happens? You're going to stop the bad guy? No, you're not. So instead of trashing all men like you're doing right now, you might want to sit back and say, if I trash all men and the good guys disappear, I'm screwed. Then you are looking at this doomsday apocalypse situation because it's you and the bad guys. And the only thing that stands between a horrible fate for you and the bad guys are the good guys. That's it. And let me tell you something. Strong, masculine men grounded in traditional values don't do this nasty stuff that you're talking about. These are the beta, simpy, little wimpy, troubled weirdo guys that you're talking about. But what's important to acknowledge here is the deep, she's saying there's 7,000 comments agreeing with her on some post. I don't know, some stupid post. But women have been sold this lie. Men are dangerous. Men are bad. Men aren't to be afraid of. In the apocalypse, you'd have to just, kill yourself because if you were left with guys, you would just be destroyed. Really? Honey, they would do it now if that's what they were all about. They're not doing it. Guys are not doing it, okay? And why aren't they doing it? Again, because the good guys stand up and protect you every step of the way. Who do you think goes to war for you, honey? Who do you think when the police officer comes to your house and you call 911, most of the times, is that a man or a woman coming to your house? Your security guards, what do they look like? And now I know, believe me, now with the political correctness, you've got that, 4'11", 100-pound woman walking around as a security guard every now and then. You know what we all do with brains? We laugh and we say, this is insanity. No one wants that little, twerp coming to their rescue. What is she going to do? But the real people who guard society, they're men. They're big, strong, masculine men who care, who have good hearts, who have good souls, who are grounded typically in God and their families, that are protecting women. The brainwashing. This is what it looks like. All right, everyone. I want you to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. I forgot to remind you. So right now, this is what I want you to do. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. You got to hit subscribe for me and help support the show. And we will be back here before you know it. See you soon.